gosh, it is cold out. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Now, if you can't tell from the title of this video, this is my top 5 favorite LMGs. Alright, I might as well get the whole entire playlist going and, just talk about all top 5 categories that I like, right? Now, in this category, we're going to be talking about not pliers, LMGs, right? So, if you enjoy this video, do me a solid, like, subscribe, and comment, right? I just got a comment recently off of my other video that I made about the shotguns, which, by the way, check that out. At the end of this video, I will be talking about that comment very soon. So, stay tuned, and yeah, let's get to the video. For our first LMG, right? This one is the AUG, right? The AUG LMG version with what I believe is a 45 round mag instead of its normal 30 round mag, and has a bipod, right? Longer barrel from what I believe, and it's just pretty slick, right? It's a pretty good LMG. Right now, if I had to choose, this would probably be maybe my top 5, maybe top 4 LMG. This ain't really exactly in a list like I did in the shotgun video, which you wouldn't know what I mean by that unless you check that video out. But this is really good LMG, right? Especially since, it's pretty much the most similar LMG that is pretty much related to a AR, right? Because they have the AR version of it, so it might be very relatable to use, might feel comfortable for users to use. Ain't my favorite LMG, but definitely a good LMG, right? I think some points that I can make here that they can probably improve on is the scope, right? The thing with the scope is you're not able to customize it. I think having it where when you customize it, it removes this built-in scope and adds a rail system. I think that'd be pretty cool. Same as for like maybe foregrips, right? This one ain't really bad, but I just think the customization factor would be wonderful, right? And then I think, from what I believe, you can actually kind of do the same thing you would with SMGs. Now, you can't accidentally rack this and lose a bunch of rounds, so that's also a pretty good thing about this one. But if what I believe is correct, I could probably have this, charging handle go up, kind of like MP5 and etc. Alright, or like the MP5 10mm, things like that, So, this might take a couple of trials and error, and I don't even know if this is possible on this gun exactly, but if it is, well, I'll try to get it. So, here we have it, the AUG element. So here we have what I believe is the RPK, and it's a pretty decent gun. Right, you have the RPK that runs a very big magazine, I believe 75 rounds. I think that's wrong, I think it's like 45 rounds. But this, from what I believe, is a 100 round drum mag, right? Which that's why this one's on the list and not, unfortunately, the 45 round version, right? The reason why this is probably last place, in my opinion, is because you can't add attachments on it. It has no really scope for the most part, and I'm not really like an AK fan, like personally this would just be if you want to like be a terrorist. Like I don't know. So honestly, not my favorite gun, but it's pretty good, since it made the list technically. So yeah. Alright, well, now let's move on to the other gun because I can't really say any more about this one. Alright, so unlike the the RPK, apologies, this is the PKM. Wonderful names they got here, am I right? very memorable. Anyways, so this one, honestly, I'm kind of also doing placements, right? Worst one being the RPK, and then the second worst being the AUG, and probably the third worst being this one, PKM, right? Now, here's the reason why it's not really that good. They need to add more LMGs to the game, at least I think. They need to add the, what is it called? Like the spear, the one that I believe SIG makes. They need to add that version. That would be sick, as well as the rifle to go along with. I believe it's called the XM7, or they call it, maybe they call it the SIG spear, something like that. Okay, potato. So here we actually have an LMG that we all know and love. So big magazine with handles to hold to pretty much deal with the recoil, a bipod, a long barrel, and this one actually has a sight. Now here's the thing, you can't customize it. Yeah, boohoo, right? So, unfortunately, we just got this. But not a bad LMG for the most part. Shoots wonderfully, and honestly, I like it for the most part. No. So, alright, well that is the the PKM. Apologies. Alright, now let's move on to our next LMG. As for the 4.5 LMG, the Mag 50A, this one I specifically like because of the big bipod that it has, as well as for the long barrel. This is perfect for long ranges, including the scope. Unfortunately, it does not have customization, but it does have the handle right here to reduce the recoil, so you can take it more often. And then you have extra mags with it, but unfortunately it is smaller. So it's a very good LMG overall, and it's probably my top 5. It made in my top 5 LMGs, but it's probably second. Now, with all of that being said, let's get on to the first. Right, and then as for the final LMG, I kind of forgot the name for a second, but I know how to use the gun. Okay, that's all that matters. So, this LMG right here still doesn't have customization. It's a tactical assault VR. You need to add customization. Pretty please. Now, here's the thing with this gun. Right. I like it because it's perfect for close quarters as well. It's between this and the Mag 58 that I'd probably use most often. So I guess Mag 58 could also be first place, but it depends on the situation. This is more close quarters, the Mag 58 is more far range. So both very, very good guns. The problem is I wouldn't have such a long scope with this gun. So if they added like a EOTech, you're able to put it on here, or I don't know, just you can put on different attachments besides the scope, I would probably love this a lot more. Very good gun though. And then the magazines, you only get 2 of them, but they're pretty big. Alright, so that's all my LMGs. Enjoyed this video, do me a favor, like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, stay tactical. But wait, don't tell me you forgot about first of the video. Welcome back to verse of the video. Now, here's the thing, right? I specifically love short verses. Not that long verses can be great and maybe even better, but short verses cause me to do a lot less editing, right? You might see like my words get kind of funky, or they're different sizes because of my editing app, right? So, luckily for me, but also a very strong verse of this verse of the video that I'm going to be talking about is 2 Corinthians 5:7. And it says, "For we walk by faith, not by sight." Very simple, right? This is pretty much how you interpret it. Now, here's the thing. It is commonly interpreted, and how I interpret it is by, instead of going by what you see, you might not see God, but you need to have the faith to believe in him, right? So there's so much things that you can say about this verse, and it's such small words, which makes this verse beautiful. So that is the verse of today, and I hope that that verse will help you on your journey with God. Now, with all being said, I love y'all. This is, I want to say, 28th, maybe 29th video on this channel. We're almost on the 30th video, I think. Actually, no, phrase type, because I don't know how much shorts I might post. But yeah, we've been doing a lot of videos. I've got a bunch of support, a bunch of amazing comments, and even for Tactical Assault might not be in the most popular VR game, but one of the most popular VR games. And there's such a small fan base, ranging through like 96,000 to like 120,000 players that own the game, at least from what I believe. And you know, it's great that even just 100 views make a big difference to me. So just want to put that out there. And with all being said, you guys have a blessed day, and as always, stay tactical. Mwah.